All right, continuing on with channels and difficult selection making. Anytime you're working with a difficult selection and you know that it's going to be a difficult selection, it's going to be two or more selections built into one alpha channel. And our goal is just to get the matchstick with the flames. And you'll notice that the matchstick has got like a hard edge to it, but the flames have somewhat of like a soft edge to it. And we have to do something separately, but it's two separate selections built into one alpha channel. Always get the easy selection out of the way first, and then whatever you have to do something special to, that's what you're going to work on last. So with your lasso tool, I'm going to hold Option with the lasso tool to transform into the polygonal lasso. I'm going to make this selection on the match like this. And then when I have that selected, I'm going to go to Select and Save Selection and hit OK, keep everything default. But before I deselect, always check your channels. And here's my alpha 1 channel. It's a black and white representation of the selection I just made. And if it's there, now you can deselect. But the thing that we are more like going to spend a little bit more time with is the flame, because it has some type of special effect to it. Keep in mind when you're working with channels and images, and you know you got to do the channel technique, every image is going to be different, so you're going to be doing something different every time. Not everything is going to always be the same. So with the match done, easy one out of the way, we're going to make a selection and try to stay with inside the edge where the flame is, right there, and try to select the whole entire flame without selecting any background. Be something like this. So with that selected, before you add white to your alpha 1 channel, what you're going to want to do, because that flame is a soft edge, if we were just to fill it with white right now without softening that edge, it would have a hard edge around that flame, and we don't want that. We want a soft edge. So what you're going to do is, before you Option delete solid white into your alpha 1 channel, you're going to go to Layer, or excuse me, Select, Modify, and Feather. Because you want to feather the edge. You don't want a hard edge, you want a soft edge. And you can soften it by doing a feather on it. And the feather radius might be okay with just 10, and hit OK. You might not see anything happen to your selection, but it did do something very, very small change in your selection. But as soon as you apply that feather, then go to your alpha 1 and hit Option delete, and you'll see a nice feathered edge when you fill it in. But you got to feather it before you hit Option delete, and make sure it's solid white and you're adding it to your alpha 1. We took two different selections and added it to one alpha 1. So keep in mind, just like the last video, because we did the selection on the fire last, technically that's the only thing that's selected right now. We want the whole entire thing selected. So when you know you're 100% completely done, you're always going to deselect and then reselect by command clicking on alpha 1 to make sure the whole entire thing is selected, whatever you have white. So once you have that, one thing that you got to be careful of, and very careful of, that's why you have to be careful on what you're clicking on, and you got to be careful on specific channels that you're clicking on. If I keep my alpha 1 channel selected and I go to copy it, you're only going to be copying the black and white, or just the white area of your alpha 1 channel. Because we're 100% completely done and we deselected and reselected, you always have to make sure that you're going to copy the color. So that's why I'm jumping back and forth from RGB to alpha 1 when I'm doing selections or when I'm copying, because when I'm done with my selection, I have to click on the RGB to bring back the full color, because that's what I want to copy. I don't want to copy the white area of the alpha 1. I want to copy the color of the whole entire image. And by doing that, you always got to make sure you click on RGB and make sure you click on the words and the words only. So once you have your selection done, you've deselected, reselected, and you got the color back up, always make sure you're on your background layer or the layer that the match is on. Because the background layer is the only layer, we should be okay. But you always want to make sure you copy that specific object that we're trying to copy on whatever layer it's on. That's very important. Keep that in mind. So with our selection up, color back up on the background layer, I'm going to copy it and paste it onto its own layer, and we successfully removed everything that's around the match and the flame. Successfully just selecting that, and you'll notice that we have a nice hard edge around the matchstick with a nice soft edge around the fire. And that is it.